Hi YouTube, I welcome you to this fine deck tech, and this is my Golos Extra-Turns deck for Historic Brawl. This deck aims to win with infinite turns, utilizing Nexus of Fate, and smashing people with zombies by utilizing Field of the Dead. In general, the deck plays like this. You ramp on turn 1, you ramp on turn 2, you ramp on turn 3, you ramp on turn 4, ramp, use Golos, activate his ability, hit an extra turn, win. The way this deck consistently pulls this off is by having a high tutor density. Well, not a high density of tutors because we only run 3, but almost all the tutors that are available to us. And by this, it managed to, for example, Scheming Symmetry into Nexus of Fate. You go to extra turns quite easily with this deck. And you also use Scapeshift, because why take 2 extra turns when you can just take 1 extra turn and use Scapeshift to just kill your opponent? And also utilize cute combos like Tails and Chance for Glory, because when you lose the game with Chance for Glory, that is a trigger ability, and that trigger can be countered by Tails End, so you actually don't lose the game. Fun fact about Chance for Glory: if you do that and your Golos is out on the field, it is indestructible forever, because it doesn't say anywhere on Chance for Glory that the indestructibility goes away after you used it. And the rest of the deck is proactive ways to deal with our opponents. Cards like Teferi Time Reveler and Duress help us with that. The reason why we want to utilize proactive cards like these over counterspell like Dove Insidiator or something else is because when we flip them off Golos, counterspells tend to be quite weak, because we can't just counter nothing really. But we can use Duress if we flip over Golos and annoy our opponent a bit. But this is basically the deck, I believe. You will see in the coming games that the deck is quite a puzzle to play, and we have some really interesting combo lines. One of my absolute favorites is Wishclaw Talisman and search out the Karn's Temporal Sundering. Take an extra turn with Sundering and returning the Wishclaw Talisman to our hand, using the Wishclaw Talisman to search out Scheming Symmetry, use Scheming Symmetry, put Nexus on top, activate Golos to get even more cards, and the Nexus. And then we can use Tamio to return the Scheming Symmetry to our hand to use Golos again to get more extra turns. So yeah, I believe this deck is incredibly fun. And let's jump right into the games. Okay, Golos versus Joda. Let's see what good stuff commander can play the goodest stuff. Okay, no 1 and 2 drop. I dislike having no 1 and 2 drops. I think I need to mulligan this. I'm keeping this because I can Growth Spiral, I can Tails End or Thassa's Intervention my opponent. I am playing the Forest into the Harbor to have the Growth Spiral available to me. Nice. Okay. Pass turn. I need to remember to play Once Upon a Time free in their end step, and then play the Growth Spiral. Okay, Once Upon a Time for free. Let's see what we pick up. Field of the Dead is not really necessary. We have blue, we have green, we have red. Yeah, let's pick up Omnath, because that lets us pick off the Paradise Druid. My turn. We could also hold up Tail's End or something similar. But just having the Omnath out on the field is quite threatening. If you're wondering, this is the year for the card draw. Okay, so our opponent is probably holding up counter spells of their own, which means that in response we will probably... Oh, or they just Omnath the Sea. Well, they still have 2 mana, so I have to be careful. One, two, three, four, five. So it is super unlikely that they will Agent of Treachery me next turn, and I can, after that I can Agent of Treachery the Tails and the trigger of the Agent of Treachery, so it doesn't actually steal something. Let's go with the Golos. Yes, I thought no counter spells. Heal of the Dead. More counters on Omnath. And starting next turn we will make zombies, and the turn after that we will draw cards with Omnath. Okay. They do play their own Field of the Dead. We could gamble it with a Golos trigger. What? They do have their own Wishclaw Talisman, sorry, not Field of the Dead. But as I said, I don't think gambling is the way to go. Okay, and let's see here. The things I'm currently considering is, do I just drop Tachiyov and hold up the Tail's End, which I think is the best play in this situation? Or do I just try to drop Narset, then Narset again, like now and next turn, and then have a Golos setup? Yeah, I do think just dropping the Tachiyov is the best play here. Because this just pressures them, so they feel pressured into playing Joda and into tutoring something big with Wishclaw Talisman. Not necessarily something big, but a board wipe rather. And we cannot counter a board wipe, but that is fine, because if they get Tails End you, yeah, if they had board wiped us, I mean they can still do Kaya's Wrath, I believe. But if they had board wiped us, we could have played Temple of Milady and Golos and just be Golos, right? Oh, there we go. It's a Golos mirror match. How do we play this? Let's just take a peek with Narset. Oh, perfect. Yeah, I think we win. Because we just Chance for Glory, and since the Tail's End is in graveyard and we have Tamio in hand. Yeah, we have the Tamio, and oh well, Chance for Glory is lethal anyways, but we could also grab the Tail's End with the Tamio and then counter the trigger again. So that's a GG. Okay, on to the next match. Emry Lurker of the Lock. Oh, beautiful hand. Yeah, I will keep this. Okay. I already have a consideration to make. Do I want to duress them on turn 1 or not? Because if I don't duress them on turn 1, I will probably play the Temple of Mystery and hold on onto the Once Upon a Time for my next draw step. But if I want to duress them, I will need to Once Upon a Time first. I kind of want to duress the 2 mana rocks out of their hand. Given the fact that we are on the play, I would usually say, okay, I can wait until next turn. But the fact that I really want to play Search for Azcanta next turn tells me that I need to duress now, or otherwise I cannot counter their 2 mana rocks. So I'm going to Once Upon a Time now. I'm going to take the Temple Garden and because it's white source. Okay, no 2 mana rocks, but they do have quite a threatening curve with Puppet into Steel Overseer. Oh, and they drew a Gingerbread. One thing to note is we saw 2 other cards with Once Upon a Time that are relevant, and this means they are on the bottom. Those 2 cards are Teferi, Time Raveler, and Chance for Glory. So until we shuffle, those 2 cards are on the bottom of our library. We are missing red. But we can use the Temple of Mystery to set up the turn for land drop. Anything threatening there? Don't think so. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, sure. Play the Temple. I don't think Scapeshift is where I want to be right now. Let's see. They play the Steel Overseer. I'm just trying to think if everything goes as I think it goes, I should drop the Rel Storm Conduit, because that goes up to 6. Oh, always offering him to use the Puppet. I think that's enough land. Okay, the obvious 2 choices. Like, the obvious one is I could drop the Rel. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 power on board, so that lives with 2, but I don't have anything to minus. Or the other choice is get the Field of the Dead into play, have a blocker, and drop the Temple Garden, which is nice. Because I don't... Yeah. If I had kept the Scapeshift on top and had 7 lands as well, I would have considered dropping the Rel, because I could double Scapeshift and obliterate them with, what's that, 12 zombies? But I don't have that option, so I'm going to play it safe. I'm hoping that they... okay, they take Spinning Wheel. I was hoping that they would go with land drop into Helm of the Host. I'll block that. Graveyard. Big action. So I could take the command tower to have access to more colors, but I have green, white, black, blue, red already, so I don't need that. I don't have access to double black in case I draw something like the Mastermind's Acquisition. I do have access to double blue, which is important. I do have access to... I think I pretty much have access to everything else except the Masterminds. So I think the play is to grab the Temple, because I can scry the top card of my library and that comes into play tapped anyways. Don't need you. No attacks. Karn the Great Creator. Oh no. Activated abilities of artifacts your opponent control can't be activated. This is really bad for us. I didn't activate the Overseer. This is really good for us. There it is again. And I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, cannot activate Golos. Drop. I know Omen is flash speed, but I'm doing this now because I am intending to +1 Roil.
Beat me? Just try it. Ride the lightning.
This is really annoying. No attacks. They should activate the Overseer now, though. Yeah, they forgot to last turn. This is pretty much where we shift gears because we can't activate Golos, and we go to Scapeshift and win.
Allow me to introduce you to a friend of mine.
One thing in Historic Brawl, so I don't think this card is really good in Brawl, because you're not allowed to have a sideboard, which kind of hinders the use of this card. It's pretty much there to annoy opponents, which it does quite well right now.
Well, that was unpleasant.
What is he going to blink? Emery? Because he doesn't want to blink his stuff with the +1/+1 counters. Oh, it's also up to 1 target creature. Oh yeah, it mills it. Nice. Library. So that's... Let's make a ridiculous amount of zombies, because the Rel will die soon. So let's get the minus value off of that.
This lightning strikes a lot more than twice.
You're the most annoying thing here, so I'm going to target you.
Acting unwisely. Please stop.
River's Rebuke would totally wreck us. Going for all the lands that I don't want right now, essentially. Blue, red, green. The reason for that is that we are throwing everything away anyways. So that's this as well. You and need a stomping ground? I don't think so. I think I can throw away the Blood Crypt. Submit date. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. And we use the floating mana to use Woman of the Hunt. Oh, Nexus is quite a decent card. And do we want to top deck Nexus? No, it doesn't matter what we get after Nexus, to be honest. Oh, so I actually did misplay a bit there. The reason for that is that I should have kept the Omnath on top, so we can put it onto the graveyard and then draw the Nexus, which gets us a bit closer to the point where we can just Nexus again. But given the fact that we are kind of going all in anyways here, I believe it doesn't matter at this point. Crucible is fine. Yeah, I think we got this.
Ah, say hello to my good
Okay, so our opponent plays a skilled animator, animates the spinning wheel, which kind of does nothing because they tap the spinning wheel to play the skilled animator. And yeah, I don't see a way for our opponent to win this game, because wait, how much damage is... Yeah, we have lethal on board anyways, but just as a cherry on top, we can Nexus. Library, transform, yes. Attack all. Opponent. Math is for blockers. One thing why the Nexus would have been relevant if our opponent would play sleep effects. So yeah, the Nexus on top also plays around sleep effects quite nicely. And that is a GG. So good game. On to the next one. Okay, started the recording a bit late, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so our opponent is bringing Torbran. I believe this, even though we go first, I think this hand is a bit too slow. Oh, this is all tutors. No ramp. Begin again. Oh, this is nice. Guess I didn't need the Thassa's intervention. I'm going to put this into play tapped because I could play this tapped, but and then have this untapped as well. But in case we drew a blue source, which we didn't. So at this point, just drawing lands is pretty much the perfect thing to do. Oh, that's great to see. This means they don't have anything good to do. Yeah, nice. Okay. I mean, it is a land. Comes into play tap though. So we're kind of to a slow start. But luckily our opponent is also off to a slow start. Wondering, I don't think if they opened up with Leyline of Combustion, I don't think we would have been hindered by that too much. So we are 24. Are they going to shock the Arboreal Grazer? Yeah, they will shock the Arboreal Grazer. Circuitous Route. So what lands do we need? We really want a red source for Escape to the Wilds. And a white source. Yeah, that's fine. This is going to hurt. Can we survive 2 turns? Because I believe we can win if we can stick this Golos. Yep. As expected, Field of the Dead. Brimstone Triple. Oh,
Prepare to burn. If you can't
are we
stand
dead?
it, get out of the Pyromancer's way.
That's an interesting interface. Wait, does that is 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that doesn't kill my Golos, right? Okay. The thing is, can we even win if I don't gamble on getting a Tail's End here? And I think the answer to that is no. So I have to maximize my options getting Tail's End, essentially. I think the best way to do that is to use Escape. Four, 5, right? Yeah. Use Escape. Okay, we have 2 more land drops, which means I can do this, 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 and now everything here is indestructible, so it doesn't really matter what we do. But we also can't attack them, because if we attack them, they will just block with the Tallbrain and the Trebuchet. But yeah, the name of the game is Fine Tails. Oh my god. I guess I like you, and I like you. Yeah, you're fine. Okay. How do I maximize Tails ending?
If you wish to surrender more, hone your prowess. Every story is an opportunity. Let me aid your research.
Beautiful. Doesn't matter though, we're dead. Good game. Yeah, damn, that was a good game.
Won't happen again.
So we found the Tails End, but we are dead. Because we stumbled. And they're just going to... No, we're dead to the Brimstone Trebuchet. Okay, this is going to be interesting. The thing is, whatever I do, they will try to kill me in response to look cool, right? But let's see if they fall for this. Because maybe I can just Tails End. No, they don't fall for it. Okay, so in response, I die to this. Nice. Good game, opponent. Good game. Oh, sweet. We are up against Joyra. So, I've seen mostly one version of Joyra where they just play her as a valid commander. But she's probably quite nice as well as a Cheerios commander where you just play cheap artifacts, cantrip your whole deck and win with combo style kills. Anyways, onto this hand. I wish I had a blue source. Or something to do with the green mana. The hand like this is not keepable, I believe. If I had a blue source, I would keep it. But I don't think I can. Huh. I sense a pattern. But, and here is the but. At least I have something to do with the green mana now. Yeah, let's play you. And I'm hoping to draw a blue source. Well, it is a blue source. I should have specified an untapped blue source. Anyways, so our opponent played Aces Gateway, and this is probably going to be really disgusting later on if it's flipped, and it will just kill us. But we plan to kill our opponent before this is flipped. Two choices. They just passed the turn, so I suspect they have counterspells. But I'm kind of fine with them countering Circuitous Counter. The other option is to just flash in the Omen of the Hunt in their end step. But yeah, I think Circuitous Counter is the play. Just because... yeah. That is 100% fine by me. Well, to be honest, just thinking about it again, the Omen of the Hunt, sorry, yeah, the Omen of the Hunt would have been a decent play as well, because I could have countered Joyra if I really wanted to. But... or play the Omen and play Golos now. So, in retrospect, I think this was a misplay. But it happens, right? So, something I can do about Nothing I can do about it now. I'm just hoping that they tap out. They don't tap out. We still play Golos. Roll one denial. Ransom. I am not playing the forest here. Maybe that's too greedy, but it is an additional yeah, I think it is an additional zombie that we could potentially have, essentially. Because it doesn't activate field, but it sets us to 7 lands. And we could have played the Wishclaw. Okay, let's see. Do they have another counter? We're just going to brute force it, essentially. Spell. Okay. Fine. Madsen. So if we had played the forest earlier, we could drop Golos again now. The one thing that I do like here is that they currently don't seem to have more historic spells to play and chain with Joyra, which is quite nice. Okay. Play the goose. And we can even lash in the Omen and their end step and activate it as well. Aether's Gateway, filtering. Do they just flood on lands? Interesting. I could also counter the draw trigger of Joyra. I could also not counter anything. And that would allow me to scry. Because the Ugin cannot kill the Golos. So I think I'm absolutely fine with Ugin resolving.
My presence alone will guide you towards victory. Ether itself serves me.
Okay, so the thing now is that I believe that they still have counterspells up. Okay, they attack with Joyous Familiar. We will not block that because we value our mana, and we can also like generate a food each turn with the goose to just gain 3 life. Okay, bit of the dead triggers. Omen of the Hunt. Let's see what we have on top. Is Tetiova good enough? How many lands do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can Tetiova into Scapeshift, which is a pretty great play, if I do say so myself. Scapeshift. And go wild, essentially. I could grab the Fabled Passage, but considering the fact that we only have 2 basics, I think it's, and we draw 8 cards of Tadjova, I think it's too risky. So I'm grabbing the Temple. Yep, a white source, nice as well. I'm just grabbing all the shocks essentially, and the lands that come into play tapped anyways. So that's an Overgrown Tomb and a Watery. Gain 8 life, create 8 zombies, draw 8 cards. Pretty decent. No, we don't need you. Yes, we want you. It's 1 basic. I thought we had a really high chance of drawing both of them. Well, it's not that high. Anyways, I am... Okay, since we cannot kill Ugin right now, because we only have 3 attackers, this would give them the opportunity to grab the card under this, so I'm not even going to attack my opponent. Command Tower, yes. And at this point we're getting close to the point where we can just Nexus over and over, and we can just brute force our way through counterspells, because even if they counter something, we can even if they counter Nexus, it goes back to into the deck, except with Syncopate, so we have to be wary of Syncopate. So I think Omnath is easy because we already played a lot of lands as a discard. So Growth Spiral as well. I do like Tireless. Tail's End is half of an extra turn. I kind of want my Tail's End. I think I don't need the Beanstalk Giant anymore. And if I really need it, I can like get it back with Tamio. I believe that's not... yeah, that's in the deck still. 24 cards in the deck, 2 tutors in hand, drawn from dreams and Thousand Dimension Makers. That
of the multiverse.
If I suspect them not having any play, any counter spells. Oh yeah, that's totally fine by me. If I suspect them not having any counter spells, I can just win. Yeah.
Everyone knows the bigger explosions are more fun.
Please tap out, opponent. Play something. If they don't tap out, I'm considering... Okay, they didn't tap out, so I'm considering tutoring Teferi with Wishclaw Talisman, so they cannot counter me. How much mana is that? That's 6 mana to play Teferi, and then 7 mana to go Masterminds into extra turn. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. I am 2 mana off. Should I then try to hit the Teferi of Drawn from Dreams, or the? Well, for this to be cheaper, I would need to hit extra turn, the extra turn, and the Teferi from Drawn from Dreams. But also just hitting Nexus lets me play it at instant speed because I have 7 mana. Oh yeah, Wilderness Reclamation is something that I really want to see. And the Duress as well to pick at their hand. Okay, let's take a look. Fry. Perfect. We're good to go. And now we are taking just a lot of turns. Because Wishclaw Talisman doesn't say that you cannot use it at instant speed, it's only during your turn, but also still instant speed. So, resolve. We are grabbing Nexus, because we do have the mana for it instead of the Chance for Glory, so we don't need to use Chance for Glory yet. Turn. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm 1 mana off of like tutoring a legendary card that costs 3 mana and then playing, like being able to play against Temporal Sundering. Yes, opponent, I am thinking. That is quite nice indeed. So I do have 2 chances of hitting an extra turn here. Yep. Still have 1 basic left. Yeah, sure. Next turn. Next. Let's attack Chandra. Yeah.
Wow, annoying.
Activate Failed Passage. Okay. Right. So, how much mana do we have available to us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, we do have access to 16 mana. That is 2 Golos activations. But I just want to find Nexus or the yeah, I just want to hit Nexus or Chance for Glory. So I think this is the better odds of me hitting an extra turn spell. There is no extra turn to be had, at least here. This means we are probably picking Teferi for the protection. And yeah, just a land. Now we're activating Golos as a last resort. And there is the Nexus. Good game. We do lose Tamu and Ral though, which is annoying. But I think it doesn't matter at this point. Pass turn to myself. Play Teferi, that way they cannot interact with us.
Let's slow this down.
Grab. Yeah, ooh, I even target the Escanta. But yeah, it doesn't matter. We have so many extra turns available to us that they simply won't get to play again. Telrent. Huh. Interesting. I'm expecting a lot of counter spells. So against counter spells, I think this Since the opponent goes first, I kind of feel bad of keeping all of this. Because I think it's at least one turn too slow. The potential is always there, right? And we have the Field of the Dead already. So I think I keep this because we have the Field of the Dead already. And if they keep countering our Golos, we can still... Yeah, land is fine. Land is always fine. We still have the field, even if they counter every single Golos. And Field of the Dead is the card to beat up on control decks. Okay, they are dropping Tolerant now. I don't like that. I hope that they would wait a bit and hold up counterspells. But that doesn't seem to be the case. What do we need? We pretty much have everything except white, as usual. Because we only have... Yeah, I believe we only have the Chance for Glory for white. And we still need it for Golos, obviously. Oh no, Teferi. Yeah, true. Teferi exists. Okay. I think they will counter the Golos. I mean, makes sense, right? But the Golos is the one card that we can always recur. And since we already have the field on the battlefield, I'd rather want to resolve the good stuff. So I'm letting the Golos be countered. Okay, this tells us that they can counter Golos next turn again. Which I really hope they don't. But the next... Oh, Mystic is really nice. Oh, if we can resolve this, they're in quite a pickle. But the thing is, if we resolve this, they can just kill it with attacks no matter what. So I'm trying to resolve Chetjova. Perfect. Absolutely beautiful. Are we dead next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, that's a no. So if we can resolve Teferi, they won't be able to play anything in response. Okay. The rest for meeting, and yeah, that means we're dead. GG, opponent. Okay, on to the next game. So we're playing against Taser Karnov. I expect a lot of removal in this matchup, but just removal is usually not enough against Golos, because I can just play him again and again and I develop more and more creatures onto the board. Okay, play Paradise Route. So we already play Golos next turn, if everything goes according to plan. No, yeah. Skeleton. Everything's fine over here. No blocks. Oh, the nice thing here is that the Godless Shrine turns on the Glacial Fortress and the Drowned Catacomb, which is pretty sweet. So no need to shock at all here. Doesn't really matter, I believe. Take action. So this is the exact situation where I am kind of considering grabbing a red source. So I have a red source on the field in case the Paradise Druid dies. I think I don't need it, because I am expecting the opponent to drop Taser Call off next turn. And if my opponent kills the Golos, that's also quite fine. Yep. Sweet. And the best thing here is they don't even have another black source, so they can't even get back the skeleton. So let's see. Yeah, they're kind of screwed on black mana. They seem to have all black in hand. Okay, so play your Glacial Fortress, play Golos again, and grab a red source out of the deck. Yes. I don't believe we have a... Yeah, our Scry Duels are Temple of Mystery and Melody. I think we have enough black. We have pretty much enough of everything. Let's just get a tapped Stomping Ground over the Command Tower in the deck, because Command Tower, I don't need to shock it to play it. And I don't think I need colors that badly. Okay. One teeth. Okay, I could go for Wishclaw Talisman into Karn's Temporal Sundering, because playing Talisman and activating it is 3 mana, so that's 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 with my land drop. But I don't think I want to do it yet, because I can still do it later. And I want to use all these turns right now to just get value, essentially. So maybe the correct play is to activate Golos, or counter something with intervention. But to be quite honest here, I don't think I care if Golos dies, because I can just replay it and get value of field. So I'm just going to activate Golos. Yep, and Temple. Growth Spiral. Onward Falls. And play the Circuitous Route. I'm not even sure if that was a slight misplay. Okay, my opponent scoops it up. But I could have also played an untapped land and play the Wishclaw Talisman. Because in this position, just playing extra turns for the sake of extra turns doesn't get me anywhere. And I'd rather be in a position where I can have an extra turn and activate Golos together at the same time each turn. Okay, so this pretty much wraps up the games. I hope you enjoyed them. I really enjoyed them as well. And yeah, the thing with the deck is, as you have seen, aggro can be a bit tough because we're so light on interaction. And the game against Torbran Would have also been fine if we did something earlier than turn 3, I believe. But in general, cards like Omnath and Tejova allow you to also follow a completely different game plan if extra turns is not working for one reason or another. I quite like the potential of this deck to just activate Golos and win on the spot, essentially. And after all, it's a Golos deck, so you don't even need to do fancy stuff, just play Golos every turn when they remove it and win from that position. I believe Golos just got banned in Standard Brawl. I don't know about Historic Brawl. Oh, I know that he's not banned in Historic Brawl, but maybe he will get banned in Historic Brawl when they ever put a ban list on Historic Brawl. But so far, this deck seems quite nice against everything that is not really aggressive, like Rada or Torbran. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you subscribe, I hope you like and comment onto the video, as that would help me immensely to create further content for you, and I will see you soon.